Hello, welcome to the Bomb Shelter. I am your host for this episode, Kevin Schumm. And with me as always is my co-host,
Jay. Hopefully I won't be abducted.
McDowell. So we are out near Giant Rock in or near Landers, California.
Yeah, just a little north of Landers.
We were at the actual Giant Rock, but it was kind of a party place.
Yeah.
So we decided to come down the road where it's a little quieter. We figure if aliens are going to be out here, you'll probably be able to see them from somewhere other than just right at Giant Rock. So it's a pretty big sky up here.
If you'll remember back on our podcast episode, the last one, Kevin said he doesn't believe in aliens.
Nope.
But he's afraid of aliens.
Yep.
So this was his brilliant idea to come out here where we might possibly be abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
Good going, Kevin.
Unless Jay is abducted and probed by aliens, I don't believe in aliens.
And if Kevin is abducted and probed, he'll really believe
Then
in
I
aliens.
really believe. So right now it's daytime. What time is it?
So that's a
Six-ish.
little like 6:34.
6:34. So it's supposed to get dark here in maybe a half an hour to an hour. It's supposed to start getting dark.
And since we're out in the middle of the desert, it's going to be dark.
Very dark. So what we're going to do is hang out a little bit, and this won't necessarily be a break. We're just, once it's dark, we'll turn this thing back on and start talking about what we do or don't see.
Well, we can talk about right quick about what's out here.
That's true.
Well, we stopped at the Integratron first, which is kind of a hippie little crystals and stuff like that. But it's a really neat building. It's this dome out just on the outskirts of Landers that this this guy named Van Tassel built. I don't know what he was hoping to do with it.
I don't remember, but I seem to remembering he died before he completed it. Isn't that right?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But he kind of built. This is kind of one of those places where people come out and meditate, and when they're not racing dirt bikes by.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what the Integratron was built for, I guess, is to be a meditation place. But the sound inside, is it's a dome. The sound is supposed to like really intensify when you're there.
Yeah. They call it a sound bath. I guess.
Yeah, you take sound baths, and it was really weird and very hippie.
Yep.
And then we came out here to Giant Rock, which is, as the name implies, a giant rock.
Yes.
Apparently the largest
freestanding
boulder in the world.
They say about 7 stories tall,
Yeah.
if it were a building.
Yeah. And up until, I think it was the early 90s, it was one big rock, and then part of it broke off and fell. And so still a tall rock, just not as wide as it was.
Yeah.
And here comes some of our friends.
ATVs.
We don't know if you can hear them, but...
Yeah, this is the reason we moved. I think by the time it gets dark, a lot of these guys will have to leave. They don't have lights on their those. So, but anyway, and now you can probably hear that. But yeah, apparently this is a hot spot for. Is that a good way of saying it, or just
for
alien sightings or UFO sightings?
Well, back in the 60s, I think, 50s and 60s, they did. They would have like UFO conferences.
Yeah.
And people come out here. I mean, as a matter of fact, we can see what used to be the old airstrip.
Yeah.
People would come and just fly directly in. I mean, their plane would literally stop right in front of Big Rock.
Yeah.
Or Giant Rock. So now you got me saying.
See, I keep saying Big Rock, and then even though I've seen how giant it is, I keep calling it.
He calls out. Yeah, he's not appreciating just how giant it is.
Yeah.
Oh, is that our friends?
Maybe.
They bringing us chips and salsa? Nope.
No,
it's not them. So at any rate, people come out here in droves.
Yeah.
During that time, and they were all during like the Space Brothers and all that kind of woo crazy stuff. And you can kind of see why before it became known to off-roaders. I mean, it's just dead quiet out here.
Yeah.
You hear birds, and you just look around. We're at the base of some hills, which are very interesting looking hills.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody just took them and broke them all up. And then in front of us, there's some hills also, and then you can kind of see out toward Coachella Valley.
Yeah.
Yay, Coachella.
And just a huge area of sky you can see.
Yeah.
You can so I imagine when it gets dark, the stars are going to look pretty awesome.
Yeah, it should look really, really
pretty
cool
clear. There shouldn't be much light pollution because we're pretty far away from any kind of town.
I don't think we'll really have much of any.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty nifty out here.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will not be abducted. And if we are, I hope they put my pants back on the right way.
Yep.
Because it's really hard to walk with
That's
your
why I
pants on
didn't wear
backward.
pants.
Ooh, and it's a little disturbing, but yeah.
So we will be in podcast time. We will be right back.
So hopefully see ya.
Yep.
If everything's ready here on the dark side of the moon, play the 5 tones.
Dark.
Finally.
Yes.
Took all evening. It finally got dark.
It's about 8:30ish p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a.m.
It's nighttime, so yeah, kind of goes without saying.
The moon's really bright, which is kind of
a bummer.
Yeah.
It's kind of half moon, but yeah, it's blasting out the
stars. You can definitely see a lot of stars, and there's again like a huge amount of sky you can see from here.
And of course, it's been fairly quiet until we started recording, and then people start riding their
ATVs again.
And apparently we have anti-aircraft fire going on over behind us.
And then fireworks on the other side over there.
Kind of like being in a little desert war zone.
Yeah.
Oops. Did my camera ever finish? I'm taking pictures.
Yeah.
Trying.
It's pretty neat out here. I have not seen aliens. Not that I expected to, but this definitely would be a neat place to see one, you know. Very quiet out here except for the people noises.
Yeah, the occasional stupid.
Yeah. There's that gun. I don't know if that was shown in the recording. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, with this podcast, I thought we'd try something a little bit different. Obviously, if an alien came down and probed Jay, that would be really exciting.
Yeah. Well, not so much
exciting podcast, but
live on the bomb shelter, probing.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, this is just a nice experience to be out here, and I haven't been out in the middle of the desert in a long time.
No, I haven't come out
at night, especially.
Come out and done anything like this in a long time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird when it is quiet. It's like
very quiet. You can hear the wind. It's so quiet, and it's not
crazy.
Heavy wind. It's just
that's the only thing you hear, and then the occasional gunshot.
Yeah.
It's like South Central desert. I mean, I guess the guns must show off really nice at night or something.
That's true, huh?
So maybe that's why, because we've heard an uptick in those.
Yep.
Yeah, and fireworks.
Fireworks.
That goes without saying. But I've heard kind of an uptick in the gunshots.
Yeah.
So, I guess muzzle flashes and stuff are just that much of a draw for people.
Yeah.
Don't know. But right now, it kind of looks like a nighttime version of the Joshua Tree album.
Yeah, it does.
Not so many Joshua trees around us. We got
no bonos.
Yeah, no bonos. No bonos to bother us. Yeah, I'm gonna give up on the photography right now.
Yeah.
Can only concentrate on one thing at a time.
Yeah. But not besides human beings making noise, there's not much going on out here. But it is a really neat spot, and I definitely would like to come out again.
Yeah,
sometime.
Definitely come out on a moonless night.
On a moonless night, yeah. So,
yeah, we've got. It's just we can see some of the city. We can see Landers down to the south of us, and not a lot of light, just a few little lights here and there.
Yeah.
And then
lots of stars.
Lots of stars. But then there's some beacon on a hill over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
We haven't been eaten by anything.
Not yet.
No rattlesnakes yet.
No. Yeah, and we were joking on the way up. We're not. I'm actually. This is Kevin. I'm more afraid of a snake or a spider or scorpion than like an alien by far.
Yeah, I think I'd rather take my chances with the alien than a snake myself.
Yeah.
And we are now in rattlesnake season, so
definitely
be careful out here.
Yeah.
As it gets warmer during the day,
Yep.
they start staying out more at night.
Yep.
And if you're not smart, you're not paying attention, that's when you step on them, and you have a really bad day.
Yep.
So there we are.
There we are.
We're
Yeah.
in desert.
Not much to report. I think what we'll do is kind of do one of our another little, not a break, but just we'll pause for now and
Figure out something to talk about.
yeah, and we may talk about on the way home, on the drive home, we might start talking about just, you know, like what we thought about the place and maybe some other thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll be back.
We'll be back. So, we are headed out.
Yeah.
Not the starry-filled, Milky Way-filled night we were looking for,
Yeah.
and Kevin, regrettably, was not probed.
No. As much
to his chagrin.
much as I tried.
I
even brought my own probe.
Wait a minute, what?
What?
Okay, I'm gonna walk the rest of the way home, okay? Anyway, so we're out here. It is not as super dark.
Yeah.
No, you know, we got moonlight and the occasional mortar going off from idiot people lighting fireworks off
Yeah.
in the desert. Thank you so much. But we got to chit-chatting about stuff. We were, you know, because, you know, you see lights up here. Of course, more often than not, you figure it's a plane, it's a satellite, something like that. But we're coming up, I think, aren't we 20th anniversary of the Phoenix lights?
Yeah.
And we were talking about that and about how, you know, what we thought it might be. And I mean, it's been hashed over a billion times by other people who are much more knowledgeable than us do. And is that a building in the middle of the place, or is that just somebody's trailer? Oh, it's just somebody's trailer.
Oh.
Yeah. Little side note.
Yeah.
Anyway, in case you aren't aware of what the Phoenix lights were back in 1999, way back then, people in the city of Phoenix looked up and saw a grouping of triangular shaped lights, like a boomerang almost, more of a boomerang or a wing than a triangle. And it was seen all over the Phoenix metro area. And immediately the government came out and said, oh, there are flares dropped from I guess from A-10s out there at Luke Air Force Base. But people said, well, wait a minute, these things are floating and they're not falling. They're just, and flares do. They have some flares that have actual little parachutes on them and stuff, and they kind of just slowly drift down. But these stayed in formation and kind of stayed in the air for a little bit. And there are some people who came out and said, hey, we saw where the sky was blocked out by whatever the shape of this object was. So there are a few people who claim that it's something more, and there are a lot of people who think that it's something more than what it was. And the reason we brought this up is Kevin said he's watching some show where there's kind of a found footage thing.
Yeah.
Based around the Phoenix lights.
Yeah.
So, what's your take?
Well, given that I don't believe in extraterrestrial UFOs
Yet,
I would say maybe some sort of government craft testing that they just, you know, people saw it and they don't want to. Obviously they're not going to admit to it if it's a secret, but at the same time, that comes to something else. Is why do they always, if that's true, why would they always test it where there's lots of people, like somewhere like Phoenix?
Well, that's brought up sometimes, because I don't think everybody's saying aliens. I think a lot of people also are saying, you know, some special aircraft from the military. But there's always been this theory that the government helps perpetuate UFOs. so that when people see stuff, if they see their test aircraft, the government goes, well, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the person goes, oh, well, it was a UFO if you're not saying it's 20 years. And then they sound crazy. And the government goes, oh, but nobody believes you. So, yeah. It's a possibility, I suppose.
What do you think about the Phoenix Lights?
I think I wish I would have been there to see them.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, there's not enough people who have said, you know, I saw something solid. I saw something that blocked out the stars as it went overhead.
Yeah.
There's only been, I don't know, not that many. I can't think of a number off the top of my head, but not enough to where it's like a group of people, a big group of people that were in Phoenix looked up and said, there's something going overhead blocking out the light. So, I'm thinking it's, you know, something government probably is flares.
Yeah.
But, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
You just never know.
You never know.
I personally have never seen anything like that. I did one time see a helicopter go over that was totally blacked out and
quiet, right?
And quiet, yeah. And that was weird. Went right over my house too.
Yeah.
Really weird. And it just, you know, most helicopters have running lights. They have, you know, landing lights or you know, just any kind of lights blinking.
Yeah.
And there was nothing on this one.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was quiet. It wasn't silent, but it was quiet for a helicopter as low as it was. And it kind of looked like a military copter, like I can't think of the dumb name of the helicopter.
Yeah.
Not a Chinook. Not an Apache. You know, Blackhawk. Kind of looked like a Blackhawk.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you if it was or not because it was night. It was
Yeah.
black. It was quiet. So that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in the sky at night, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't an alien flying a helicopter.
I remember when I first sort of, as a kid, I don't know how old I was, but as a kid sort of got into, oh, what if there's, you know, I got excited about UFOs. I remember going, you know, just, okay, I'm going to find one. So I, you know, go out at night sometimes, look in the sky, and of course I always saw things. I was like, oh, maybe that was one. And, you know, but nothing that it was like, oh, I remember that one time or this, you know, nothing that left an impression on me.
Yeah, that you remember.
Yeah.
Except for that time you woke up and your shirt was on backward.
Yeah. Well, I do that anyway because
7 hours were gone.
Because I really like that rap group Crisscross, so I wear my clothes backwards. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But they were right. They were on the right way around. I'm like, hey, who put my shirt on the right way?
Wait a minute. Who put my clothes on the right way?
Yeah.
Mom? But yeah, I mean, I want to see something.
Yeah.
I go out almost every night and I look, and I don't need to see like a little gray standing outside my door.
Yeah.
Really don't need to see that.
I definitely don't need to see that.
But I would love to look up and see, you know, a light go over that just isn't flying like a plane or a helicopter or a drone.
Yeah, doing something that those couldn't do.
Yeah.
Something that,
just see it going along and then go up straight.
Yeah, like without slowing, just change direction.
Because I go out and I see satellites all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes they always seem to go in straight lines, but every once in a while, I remember one time, years ago, I looked at it and I saw two, and it may just be that they just happen to be on the same trajectory at around the same time, but it looked like two. Excuse me, I'm yawning because it's late, and we're out at night in the desert. But it was two lights going, like they were kind of pacing each other, and I chalk it up to being satellites, but I've never seen two satellites cruise along like that with each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Well, I know there are UFOs, things that are unidentified flying objects.
Yeah.
But I'm still convinced that there's no there's no alien life. I believe there's no alien life. And even if there were, I think the chances of them ever being close to us, close enough to see us or for us to see them is
okay. Well,
even smaller.
Are you, to use the term incorrectly,
Yeah.
are you atheistic about it or are you agnostic about it?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm. See, I think even atheists aren't really atheists in the religious sense. But
well, atheists believe in something, so
yeah. But I mean, like, is it possible? Yes. It's also possible my entire life has been a dream and I'm about to wake up. But as far as like if everything is the way it looks like to me, then I say yes. I don't believe that there's, actual alien life.
See, like I think we've talked about before, I believe there's alien life.
Uh-huh.
Whether or not it's been here before, that is up for debate. But the universe is too big for there to be nothing else out here. Yay, we're at a fork and we don't know which way to go.
I'm looking at maps. I found it. Yeah, well, to me, it depends on. I mean, that gets more into philosophy. Like, I mean, we're both believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'd have to decide, well, God created things in a certain way rather than a different way. I mean, you'd have to say that God created the universe and let things go. I mean, one way you could decide is God let the universe kind of do its own thing. Or you could say God let the universe do its own thing and then decided I want a planet with people on it, and that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be others on other planets.
Well, our belief is that God created us, but
yeah,
I don't put God in a box, and I just say, well, if you wanted to do something, you do it.
Well, I think God, whether it's God or the universe, anything could be, but I don't think it's more of a stretch to say he didn't than it is to say that he did. I mean, well, I have no reason to think that he did either. So it's kind of, it would be, I mean, if you go by our religion, it doesn't really mention anything else. So you'd have to 50-50, like maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
Yeah, but like I said, my belief is he's pretty much can do what he wants. So
yeah,
whether or not he did, or he did and we don't know about it or never will.
Yeah.
But I lean toward mechanical universe anyway. That's a clockwork universe. I look at the way things move and the way things work, and to me it seems like things were put into motion. But I believe that things were put into motion and then just basically allowed to work how they work.
Okay, and so that's where we differ. I think that's why we're disagreeing.
So I just, do I think that God said, okay, well, I'm going to put this here and this here and these here and these people here and this creature here? Yeah. But I also think that he put things like, if you look in our own solar system, we've got an asteroid belt between, I believe it's between Mars and Jupiter. And Jupiter basically acts like a big vacuum cleaner, and it keeps those asteroids, for the most part, from getting through and coming towards us. To me, that indicates some kind of a mechanism that was put in place to protect us.
Yeah.
And not just, we just happen to have this giant this giant planet put here. How fortunate for us.
Yeah.
So, it's weird. The desert makes you think deep thoughts.
Yeah. There's nothing else, no distractions.
You can't see anything.
And you realize when you're out here how annoying technology is, because you're messing with your camera. I'm trying to get this recording device to do what I want, and and then someone texts me on my phone, and you can't escape it. But yeah, you think different when you're out here. There's not, well, there are people, but there's not constant noise and constant distractions.
Yeah, I swear, there's somebody out there with some. Oh, there's Integratron.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yay.
Well, there's the fence around the Integratron.
Although I just put down technology, but technology just saved me twice at two forks. It's too dark to see anything, and I had to look at Google Maps to say, like, oh yeah, I should go left or I should go right.
We turn here, don't we?
I don't.
Isn't that, because the fence went down along the Integratron. Okay, no. So we don't turn there. See, this is why you pay attention to technology and not to
technology.
Me. Technology, not technology.
But yeah, we're almost to the main road now. I'm glad to get off the dirt. But yeah, I mean, overall a good experience. We learned some lessons. try to avoid groups of people. Maybe don't go to Giant Rock next time. Maybe find somewhere a little more less
known
or something.
Less campy.
And maybe try to plan around the time when the moon is going to be like a sliver in the sky instead of, a little more than half.
Well, that's usually pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
But
and I don't think we even thought about that this time.
No.
I wasn't even thinking about the moon. Yeah.
I was looking at the weather. But we could plan to come up here one of the meteor showers.
Yeah.
Of course, we got to be up all night. But
yeah.
Bye, Integratron.
Yeah, I guess their sound bath is over.
Yep. All these weirdo hippies.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked to one of the individuals that helps run the Integratron, and he's a very nice gentleman.
Yep.
Telling us all sorts of the weird things they do in there, and I nodded and smiled and asked what I thought were pertinent questions, and then we moved along.
Yeah. And he kept thinking that we wanted to be part of it or something, but no.
Yeah, he kept telling us that, we're going to get to that. We'll just follow these people out because we're going to get to that.
They're going the same
main
way.
road, and then we'll turn, and then we'll turn, and then we go, and then we're on a road.
That makes sense.
Total sense.
But yeah, the guy seemed to think that we were there hoping there was some no-shows that we could slip in.
Are there any openings?
Yeah, and we weren't doing that at all.
To your crystal ball? No, I just wanted to make sure I could take pictures. Disturb people doing weirdo yoga stuff.
Yeah.
Because he kept telling us things like, oh yeah, people come in here and they do their yoga and they meditate and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we don't.
You are all people that make me very, very cranky.
Yeah. But overall a good adventure. I don't know what I expected, but new things to consider for next time, and a little different than I expected too.
Yeah. So there we go. That is our
Integratron
and Giant Rock
podcast.
Probably one of our most disjointed podcasts.
Yes, definitely.
Ever.
Yep.
And if you made it all the way through, awesome. Thank you.
How did you do that?
Yeah. Go get a hobby.
But yeah, we'll talk to you sometime soon, and we have another couple of these outings planned. So maybe next podcast will be one of those.
We'll get our crap together.
Yeah.
Why are these people pulling over and
know.
turning? We're gonna die. Bye.
I hope somebody's taking all this down.
What are we saying to each other?
It seems they're trying to teach us a basic tonal vocabulary.
It's the first day of school, fellas.
Take everything from the lady.
Follow her pattern, note 3.